This week we are answering more of your questions. The first question we have, I'm going to get right into it. This says, what was the car, and I don't go over any of these with Kevin, so.
I'm clueless.
Yeah.
Like most of the time.
What was the car you owned that you guys hated most? Also, how did both of you all learn how to drive?
Y'all.
I copied and pasted.
It's y'all.
Y'all. How did y'all? That's it. What was the car that you guys hated the most, and how did we learn to drive?
Okay.
Oh. Well, you said the car that we owned. So I'm going to say I hated owning. I don't think Kevin hated owning it because Kevin didn't drive it. My parents had a van. And
no, I would have said the van.
You would have said the van? I hated the van. It was a minivan.
Yeah.
And I hated the minivan.
It was good with kids because you could just throw them in there and let and go. But
yes, but it was not in. There was something wrong with it, and we never could figure out what was wrong with it. So it was my parents, and I don't know how we got it. Did we buy it from them? Did they give it to us?
I'm thinking we switched. Like they were going to get something new.
That's right. And they needed something to trade in.
And we needed something to trade in. And we
yes.
So they like gave us their van. And we gave them an older car that we had. We just switched. And then they traded in whatever our old car was.
Yes.
And then we kept their van.
That's exactly what it was, yes. But that van...
Because the car that they switched for us was getting old. So
yeah, it just had some kind of... I think that was the Dodge that I had.
Probably.
That they traded in.
Yeah.
It had some kind of like, I don't know, electrical issue or something.
It would die.
And it would just die.
Yeah.
It would just die in the middle of the road. And it did that a couple times, which made me have a complete breakdown. And we got rid of it.
Yeah.
So
that's when you go to the dealership or the car place and you go, please work for them.
I know.
Work long enough for them to drive it around.
Yes, just so they can turn it on so we can get $5 out of it.
Right, so we can get something out of it.
Yeah.
No, that would have been the one I hated together.
And how did we learn to drive? There's a place called Boone Driving School.
Still around.
It's still around. Andrew learned to drive through Boone Driving School, and Ashley learned to drive through Boone Driving School. I personally think if you have a kid, I think it's worth it to get the driving school to teach them to drive and not you.
Yeah.
It's
less stress on you, that's for sure.
It's much less stress on you. Your relationship with your child will be better.
They use their car instead of your car.
That's right. And you usually get a little bit off of your insurance if they've been through these classes. Yep. But I took one lesson. I personally, now Andrew and Ashley completed Boone Driving School. That's how they learned to drive.
And that's why they got the insurance discounts.
Yes.
Because they finished it.
But I took one lesson, and then pretty much it seems like, there was a bunch of different people. It seems like I drove a little with my mom. I drove a little with my dad. But you know what? I really do not have any. I have that one memory of Boone Driving School, but I do not necessarily remember riding with my mom or my dad. I just don't with driving with them.
Yeah, I'm sure they did though.
Oh, of course. That's what I'm saying. I'm sure they did it. I don't remember it at all. I just don't.
It was my dad. Dad taught me how to drive everything. So we would, my first driving experience was just going into a parking lot. It was where Hex used to be on Nicholasville Road, right across from Parkette.
You mean New Circle Road?
New Circle Road.
Yeah.
New Circle Road across from Parkette, there was a Hex.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure there was a Hex or Hex, something like that. But it closed down, so the parking lot was just like huge parking lot, and it was empty. So I learned to drive in that parking lot. And
that's a small parking lot.
No, it's huge.
Really?
Because it goes all the way around the back to where the shipping things is. And there's no cars there. Plus, they've added another little business in the parking lot.
I've never been all the way around it.
Yeah, it was huge. So that's where I kind of learned to give gas, brake, turn, do tight turns, that kind of stuff. Then Dad had me doing crazy stuff in this little parking lot. There was like a sign in this little shopping center we had that had two posts sticking up, and the sign was up in the air. And I'm in this S10 Blazer, which is not small.
Right.
And he said, just drive through those posts right there. And I'm thinking, there's no way I'm going to fit through those posts. He said, sure you'll fit. And so I'm going really slow. He said, just give it some gas and go right through. And I'm like, you're a crazy man. I would never do that with our kids. I would have never said drive through these posts because I was afraid.
Did you do it?
Yeah, I did it like 4 or 5 times. But I was not a confident person. But once I did that, my confidence was much better. So
Okay, so that was an automatic.
that was an automatic. And then once my first car was actually a standard, a manual, where a manual transmission. And Dad taught me how to drive that when I bought that car. Yeah.
I don't know how to drive
A stick.
a stick, and I have no desire to learn. No desire at all.
She drove the stick when we had one, because my first car when we got married was a stick.
And he showed
You
me
drove?
in a parking. No, I never went out on a road.
No, you would never run on the road, but you did drive right in the parking lot.
It was awful. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it.
Nowadays, it's like, why would you have one unless you're racing? Or something?
Yeah, I don't know why you would have
It's
one of those.
so much more convenient to have an
To have an
automatic.
automatic.
Yeah.
And I don't know anyone that owns one,
Yeah,
a stick.
I don't know.
I don't know anyone that has one. Okay. If Kevin, this was for you specifically, if Kevin was allowed to only go to one grocery store / food store for the rest of his life,
Where would I pick?
which one would he choose? I think I know where you would choose. I've got a place in mind, and we'll see if we match.
In our area, probably Meyer.
Oh, okay. That's not what I would have chosen. I wouldn't have thought that. Okay.
Where would you have thought?
Walmart.
No, hell no.
Okay.
I like Walmart. I do like Walmart, but and I like their selection, but there's just crazy people there. Meyer, I don't know. Myers just seems to be a little bit more relaxed and calm, and I don't know.
I was thinking Walmart because we do these food reviews, and Walmart
They tend to
gets
have-
a lot of the stuff that we want to review.
that's true.
They get a lot of, they'll get stuff in our area that nobody else will
That
get.
still would be my preferred
And
store, though.
it's cheaper. I'm thinking they have the best prices. And so that's why I said Walmart, is because normally you're a practical person, and I thought you would pick the practical answer.
They are cheaper and stuff like that, but I don't know. Meyer has basically the same stuff.
I think Meyer's terrific. I love Meyer.
They are more expensive, though.
But they're a lot more expensive.
They
They're
are.
even more expensive than Kroger.
They are.
Yeah.
I don't like Kroger at all. Well, it depends on what Kroger. If I went to the Kroger in Lexington, I wouldn't mind the Kroger. But they don't sell like other stuff. They don't sell like all the other stuff that you would need in life.
No, but they're saying for food. They're saying grocery
Yeah.
store. They asked you specifically about groceries.
Yeah,
So
but
you're
still, I would
saying
still say
Meyer.
Meyer.
Okay. Could you tell us what you eat in a day when you do these food reviews? So when I do food reviews, what do I eat in a day?
Well, you make videos of a lot of stuff you eat.
But the reason I quit doing the literally day by day is because I don't want to show people what we're reviewing in the morning.
No.
I don't want to do that because it dates the video.
Right.
Because then when it comes out, oh, they reviewed that 2 weeks ago, or they did all that in one day, and I don't know. I don't want to date those videos, those reviews, and so that's why I quit doing the what I eat in a day videos, and I just show you it's all month long, and it's random meals.
Yeah.
It's just random meals we've had during the month.
That's true.
What I usually eat is we'll do the reviews in the morning, and I will probably have 500 calories in the morning, if I had to guess. Would you say that's
Probably,
accurate?
yeah.
I probably have 500 calories in the morning for breakfast. And then I have a cup of coffee in the morning and then the afternoon. I'll go ahead and give you that. Coffee in the morning, coffee in the afternoon. That's 30 calories a cup.
Oh, they want to know calories?
Probably not. I'm not going to give calories for everything.
Exactly.
And then for lunch, I tend to eat something smaller for lunch because I like to have a bigger dinner. Now, I know that's backwards. I know you should eat more at lunch and have less for dinner, honestly. But that's just not how it's been for me. So I'll have something like an egg salad sandwich for lunch. I'll have 2 yogurt cups for lunch. I'll have a package of crackers that has the 6 crackers. That's about 180 to 200 calories, depends on what brand you get. I'll have a package of those for lunch. Sometimes Kevin and I will do a review in the afternoon. So if we have ice cream or something like that, we want to review.
Usually some small.
So yeah, it's usually something small around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So sometimes I'll have another 100 or 200 calories in the afternoon, and then dinner at night is usually about 400 calories, and then we have a snack at night too, and that's usually another. I'll have about 200 calories at that time, and it's just the food itself is. I eat a lot of yogurt recently.
It depends on what cycle you're in. Sometimes you go in moods for one thing. Sometimes you want something else.
So a lot of times in the grocery halls where you see those packages of like Lance crackers, when I buy those, I'm usually eating, I might eat a pack of those for lunch, and I might eat a package of those again for the late time snack. When I'm buying a lot of yogurt, I'm usually eating yogurt pretty much all day long. I'll eat 2 for lunch. I'll eat 1 with dinner. I'll eat 2 for a snack that night. So yeah, it really just depends on what cycle I'm in. But I probably have about 1,200 calories a day. That's what I have. And that's good for me. So what about you?
I same reviews in the morning, coffee. I do a lunchtime review every day, so pretty much every day.
So what you're saying for, that meal, that's what he had.
Yeah, I just eat. And sometimes it depends on how many calories it is. I try not to do like crazy calories, but sometimes I don't eat at all. But I eat a lot of it. When I get the family size meals, I don't eat all those.
No, he doesn't eat that at that time. Yeah.
I save it usually.
Save it, yeah.
But I always eat that for lunch, and that's my lunch. So whatever that is, it is. For dinner, it depends. For me, it depends on what kind of mood I'm in. So lately, I've just been eating a fruit cup and a bar. Literally, that's all I've been eating. It's a fruit cup and a bar. And then a snack that night is usually a pack of Cheetos or a beef stick or beef jerky or something like that, which is about 160 calories or so, and a Rice Krispie bar for 90 calories. That's what I've been eating for a snack.
Kevin's been trying to watch his
calories.
I've
been trying to drop my calories a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I've gained a little bit more, so I'm trying to rein it back in.
Yeah.
And I'm always right around the same weight. So I'm within 5 pounds, usually of the same weight all the time anyway. But when I start creeping up, I bring it back down. But I've had like sandwiches for dinner. I love Kentucky Legend. Is that what it is? Yeah. Kentucky Legend ham and turkey.
I like those
too. Absolutely love it. The bad thing is for me, I don't like Tammy's bread. Hate it. So
it's the Heiner's 35 calorie bread.
It is dry.
I only buy 35 calorie bread.
It is dry. It's like eating paper. I mean,
if they did not, if I lived in an area where they did not make low calorie bread, I wouldn't eat bread.
Yeah.
Now they do have. You might not be able to get 35 calorie bread. You might be able to get the 45 calorie.
Yeah.
I would be willing to eat if I couldn't get the 35, I would definitely get the 45. But if I had to eat full calorie bread, forget it. Well,
it's a lot of calories.
It's a whole lot of calories.
Because you can do 2 sets of the 45 calorie bread, still doesn't add up to 1 slice of regular bread.
It's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I just wouldn't eat sandwiches.
So I like regular bread, so I tend not to eat those very often because I do like the regular bread. And if I do eat it on the 35 calorie bread, I just don't enjoy it as much. It's like, what's the point of me eating this? So I could put it in a wrap. I could wrap it up into a tortilla, like a flour tortilla or a lettuce or whatever, or just eat the meat by itself. It's fine. Put it in eggs. I've chopped up and put it in eggs before and scrambled up.
Scrambled eggs.
Yeah, chopped up ham and put it in eggs with bacon. With onions and stuff. So really, for me, dinners are just whatever I'm in the mood for right at that particular time. And I just go buy a bunch to last me a week, and then I eat it.
I would say we eat a lot of processed food. Yeah. And the reason we eat a lot of processed food is because we, like right now, I'm not counting calories. When I'm counting calories, I write it down. That is the best way. This is coming from someone who's trying to watch their calories. That's why I'm going into all this. When I'm trying to drop weight, really that would be the biggest piece of advice I would give you. Don't eat out at all for like the first 6 or 8 months, because you need to retrain your mind, really. And
it's really hard to go out to eat.
You need to retrain your mind, and you need to retrain what you're craving, those cravings that you get. But my a big piece of advice would be to write down every single calorie. If you have a cup of coffee and you put, like us, for us, the calories are coming in with the creamer we use. So that's 30 calories. These people who buy liquid creamers, and they're not measuring them. They're doing just,
shots.
I think it's this.
You gotta weigh everything.
You have to measure it because you have no idea how many calories. You would be shocked at how many calories you're using with those liquid creamers.
Yeah, if you measure it. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And I guarantee you, if you start measuring it, you'll realize that stuff, you have to use so much of it to get the flavor. That's why we don't review them anymore. It's like, it's not worth it at all for us to buy those.
No, because they say to put like 2 tablespoons. And you put it in, it's like, that's not enough. And the 2 tablespoons is 100 calories or something. It's like, no.
Yeah, you can't taste it at all. But the biggest piece of advice is to write down every calorie if you're trying to drop weight.
And weigh stuff. Weigh things. Don't guess.
But the processed food, when we first started losing weight, frozen meals will become your best friend. Because it's portioned and you know exactly how many calories is in that. It's so easy. It makes life simple. And there's so many good frozen meals. The spaghetti and meatballs and
there's lots of Asian, Chinese like food, noodles.
There's just all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Back
food,
when we first started, they had paninis and they have pizzas.
They still have some of the paninis, but
yeah, there's just all kinds of stuff like that. So that's why we eat a lot. We still eat that same way because it's easy, and at dinner time we just want something quick that we can go to. And you know how many calories is in it, and it's portioned.
We've gotten portion salads before too, though, in the bowls.
Yes, those bowls are wonderful.
The bowl salads are really nice.
Yes.
Just make sure that look at the dates and make sure they're not brown.
I love those salads at Walmart.
Yeah, and they're pre-portioned.
They used to be called Ready Pack Bistro. I think Aldi still sells that brand. But the market side salads, yes, and I would even steer clear. This sounds awful, but I would steer clear of the big bags because the bags have like 2 portions and they're usually 500 or 600 calories because I can eat a whole bag by myself. So it's best if you just stick with the bowl and don't have anything else and don't add anything else to it. Just eat that for lunch and that would be it. So I get in moods where I'm going through salads and stuff like that. But usually that's only for like 3 or 4 days, and then I'm ready for something else.
Plus, you have to buy them. You can only buy 2 or 3 days at a time anyway, because
they'll start getting brown. Yeah. Yes, but those are awesome. I'm glad you mentioned those. Yeah. Okay.
Anything pre-portioned you can get is really nice.
Yes. What would your dream house look like? For example, a description like 2-story brick house with a basement and game room. And where would it be located? So what would your dream house look like and where would it be located?
Well, I would want it somewhere, I mean, we're talking dream house?
Dream house.
I would have it on a cliff in Hawaii, over the ocean.
Yeah, like Iron Man's house.
Yeah. But I don't want Iron Man's house. But something like that, some of that location like that, where you can just look over the water.
Yeah.
In a zone like that where the temperature is really, I mean, in winter time, the lowest it ever gets is 70 degrees. I mean, who wouldn't want that, you know?
Yeah.
And when it's hot, it does get a little hot, but it never gets over like 90. So, I mean, it's just beautiful.
I would choose Hawaii too.
Yeah. Or someplace like Hawaii.
And I would have never thought that. I would have always said, oh, London. And of course, if you own your dream home, you probably can afford to go to London whenever you want.
You have a dream home, not homes.
No, but I'm saying you could afford to go visit whenever you want. So I don't have to live there because I can visit.
Travel. Yeah.
But I agree with Kevin because I like the climate and I like the temperature and it's absolutely beautiful and lush and green. And I agree with you completely. I'm right there. Yeah, I would love that.
Because the cold weather, we live in Kentucky where it doesn't get super cold and bad, but it's cold enough.
It's cold enough to where
it's not fun anymore.
The older we get, the more it affects us.
Yeah,
and
I don't like the cold.
We absolutely do not like the cold anymore.
I'd rather just stay inside the house when it's cold.
Yes, and that's what happens.
Yeah, and as far as what kind of house I want, since we've gotten older, I'd much rather have a single level. It can be a sprawling house, but I only want it on single. I don't want to deal with steps. I mean, basements are cool and stuff when you're younger and you don't mind running up and down the stairs 4 or 5 times a day and stuff. But when you get older, you don't want to fool with that.
I would like a sprawling house. I would like
a
it
big ranch
all
house.
on one level, but I want it, huge. So it can be 5,000 square feet, but it's going to all on one level. Yeah, and something modern.
Yeah.
I like modern. I love mid-century modern.
Yeah.
But I like modern. I like clean lines. And this is coming from people who we live in the Victorian home. And this house,
big high ceilings and all that.
Yes, this house has so much character, and
we love this house.
Oh,
it's just,
it's just that it would be nice to go to something completely different. Yeah.
Or take this house and take the top floor and put it next to the bottom floor.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we really don't use upstairs.
I think it's funny. We both are thinking the same thing. Okay. How many rooms do you all have upstairs?
3
1,
actual rooms.
2, 3, 4. There's 5 rooms upstairs.
Yeah, but only 3 are usable.
3 are usable.
Or livable.
Or 3 are livable. 2 are attic space.
Yeah.
Yes, there's 2 attic spaces for storage, and then 3 rooms that you can somebody could go up there right now and put their furniture up there and set up, because there's not one thing up there.
Yeah.
Not one thing in those rooms.
Literally nothing. And even one of the attic spaces, if you were to run, you would have to do some insulation and drywall in there.
But you could make
it
too.
and put some heating and air in there, and you could make it a room easily.
Oh yeah, very well. You could do that with all the rooms.
You could do the other one. It would be a little bit more effort in the one over the kitchen.
Yes.
Because the floor is just a temporary, just a MDF pressed wood floor.
Right.
It's not a nice floor. The other attic has actual wood floors.
A nice floor.
Yeah. So but still, there's quite a bit of room up there.
Yeah, and
there's a whole house up there. Our first house was probably about the size of upstairs.
Yeah, and think about it. It's all empty.
Yeah. Except the attic. We store stuff in the attic.
Yeah. Was there ever a time when you felt like giving up on YouTube, or felt like I'm gonna do less videos? No. I've never thought this is gonna be it. I'm not gonna do videos anymore.
Have you ever thought to drop down from like 4 videos a day to 2 videos a day?
No, because we review too many things, and I could, if I wanted to, I could come out with 10 videos a day.
For a short period of time.
Because that's how many reviews we do. It would build up too much. If I were to cut down on the number of videos that came out each day, it would build up too much, and you wouldn't see new items. Like if there's a brand new something that came out, like Oreo. When we find a new Oreo, I try it that day and I get the video out that day. There's no scheduling that for a week later. So if you've already got, let's say, 2 videos that have come out, well, I want it to go ahead and come out anyway. I'm not going to save it, or it's going to be old by the time you saw it. A lot of things are that way. So,
well, if they've been out forever anyway, or they're not new.
But a lot of things I have scheduled, and it's like, wow, that should have come out a long time ago, and I'm sorry I waited, because people would have liked to have seen it sooner. But I can't have all the stuff. I mean, you think you're bombarded now, you'd really be bombarded. But no, I've never, I'm sure there will come a time where we won't do YouTube anymore. We're getting older.
Or cut back to stuff like this.
Right, but I don't know. I haven't thought about doing it yet, put it that way.
It's none of the cards now.
What is the most important thing to you in a relationship? Looks, smarts, humor, personality, or mutual interests?
I think personality has a lot to do with it. Just like how that person interacts with the world. That's a huge part of it.
I think personality is number one.
Yeah.
Out of all those things, I think personality is number one. The mutual interest, that's nice, but I don't think that's necessarily. I mean,
it's nice to have some things in common,
yes.
but you don't want to be complete opposites on everything. But
right.
but don't expect to find someone that has the exact same interest as you,
right?
Because you're not going to find anybody.
It's just because you like to go fishing doesn't mean I'm going to want to go fishing.
But in that same turn, be willing to let that person go do the things that they want to do.
Yes,
that's the biggest part.
Let them be them. You can't want to change somebody.
Yeah, don't look to change. Don't think you hate a hobby they do. And I think, when we get together, I'll change that. That's just going to make them unhappy. So
I think I learned that when I was dating at a younger age. You can't change somebody.
No.
That they are who they are, and you know, as we've talked about this too. As you grow older, yes, you're going to change. You're going to evolve as a person.
Yeah.
But don't go into a relationship thinking you're going to be able to change.
Yeah, I can get rid of that habit or whatever.
Because you're not going to. That's who they are, and if you don't like it right now, you're definitely not going to like it 10 years.
If they
from
go
now.
drinking once a week with the boys. And you're like, you know what, I really don't like that, but I think I can talk them out of doing that when we get married or whatever. It's probably not going to happen.
Probably not going to happen.
Or if it does, they're not going to be happy. They're going to resent you a little bit. Not all guys are like that. I'm just saying, if that's a normal thing, or they like to go play cards once a week, or bowling once a week, or play video games, whatever it is, don't don't expect them to change.
That's a good example. The video games. Kevin, when we met, Kevin's a computer guy. Kevin likes to be on the computer. Kevin likes to play his games. And I can't say that there wasn't ever a time that it was like annoyed me because
I'm sure it did.
I maybe wanted him to watch a movie with me or something, and instead he's on there playing a game. It doesn't now, but I can tell you earlier on, there were times when I remember being like, you know, how long are you going to be on there? But that's something that I wouldn't try to take from him, and I know I would never change it. That's what he likes to do. That's what he likes to do. So if you love the person, you don't want to take away everything that's important to them either.
But as the guy, also be willing to give a little bit. Compromise is a huge thing.
Yes, and for a lot of people, a time limit works really well.
Yeah.
Like if he's on the computer and he says, "I'll be on here. I'll get off here in 15 minutes, or I'll get off here at 1:30 or whatever." A lot of times, that's all you have to say to let that person know, I hear you, and I'm going to get off. This is my limit, and then I'm yours. And I think that helps a lot as a time limit. What store is represented most in your wardrobe?
Right now for me, it's probably Cabela's.
Cabela's, yeah.
Because I've got a lot of the redhead shirts. But you know what?
That's a redhead shirt, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
I think, isn't it redhead?
I think so, yeah.
I think it's called redhead. Something like that.
It's so worn out. You know what? It's a redhead, but it's really worn out.
I like to wear them a lot. No, Cabela's, the redheaded shirts, and Kohl's. I wear a lot of like my jeans are from Kohl's, and those longer sleeve shirts I wear are mostly from Kohl's.
You know, it's so funny you say Kohl's because
we don't even shop there anymore.
No, we haven't shopped in Kohl's in forever, so that stuff
all those shirts.
Old.
Yeah. Well, that and I ordered a bunch too, and they shipped them
online.
to me.
That's right. I'm going to say Ann Taylor.
Yeah, that's a lot of yours.
A lot of, like, I have a whole row of Ann Taylor blouses. These I wear during the summer, but now for the winter, my hoodies are from Dick's Sporting Goods, and they're from all over. I have a lot of North Face and souvenirs from when we go on vacation. Hawaii shirts. I've got London, and wherever we go on vacation, I'll try to pick up a hoodie. So I've got one that says "I heart New York," which a New Yorker would never wear, but I don't care because I love it.
From when we went to the airport.
Yeah, we were just in the airport. I haven't actually visited New York, but I love that sweatshirt. Let's see. What food makes the best leftovers?
Oh, pizza. Pizza and chicken. Pizza and fried chicken are the best leftovers.
Okay. I
Because
would
you can eat both of those cold.
I would never eat fried chicken leftover.
Take it right out of the refrigerator.
I would never eat it cold. I think it's disgusting. I would never eat cold pizza.
Really? You never eat cold pizza? You would always heat it up.
Yeah, that sounds like something that somebody that got drunk the night before would eat the next day.
Tammy does not like leftovers in general anyway.
No.
Not cooked meals. Now she'll eat like if we make like
I have a specific meal in mind.
Do you? Mm-hmm. That you would eat leftovers
Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah. Yeah, because
I always eat leftover turkey
but that's about the only meal she'll eat leftovers.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. But like if we ordered, which we don't do, but if we were to order like pizza, Tammy would never heat that up the next day and eat
Absolutely
it.
not.
I would put it on the plate and wrap it up and literally just eat it cold.
I want it fresh and hot.
I would eat it cold or stick it in the microwave just to take some of the chill off, and I would still eat it. I don't like the leftovers really hot anyway.
People would probably be shocked that I'm as picky as I am about food, because I would not want to, like, I've seen people go out and get fast food knowing that they're not going to be home to eat that for like a half an hour even. And then they'll have to get home and heat that stuff up or what. I would never dream of doing that. If I can't have it fresh right then I don't want it.
Especially some fast food.
Yes.
Like McDonald's French fry.
No.
They are not very good heated up.
No.
They are not. I've tried them heated up before. Ugh.
So like these food shows where they are judging people, they've said before that the stuff's cold.
Yeah, like on Iron Chef, or not Iron Chef, Master Chef.
Master Chef.
Yeah.
There's no thank you.
Bake Off, of course that's cookies and stuff, but yeah.
The Bake Off's different.
Yeah,
the Bake Off,
it's set for
I can do sweet stuff.
Yeah.
But stuff that's supposed to, I'm funny about
like a steak and potatoes.
I'm funny about temperature. I'm really funny about temperature. Yeah. So the best food I would say leftover is going to be Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, I would say pizza and fried chicken.
Okay, what game are you great at?
Do they mean I'm assuming like a regular, like a board game or whatever.
You could name a video game.
No, I'm not great at any video games.
But you love video games.
But I'm really bad at just like regular board games too. I play for fun, honestly. When we're playing board games and stuff, I play for fun.
I'm never trying to win.
I don't really I'm not cutthroat.
I could care less if I win or not. For me, it's just the experience
of
being
having
together.
Fun. Andrew and Ashley, though, are the exact opposite. They are cutthroat, will literally
vicious.
destroy you and just giggle about it. I mean,
yes. Oh, they think it's wonderful. I'm going to say block us.
Yeah, you're a lot better at that. And she acts clueless, like she doesn't know what's going on. Oh, I blocked you in? Yeah, you know you blocked me in. Give me a break. We know. We know you're doing it on purpose. But she's like, oh, I accidentally put that there and blocked you in so you can't go anywhere else on the board. And we're like, please. We know that innocent act doesn't work on us. I'm trying to think of what game. I'm pretty decent at Monopoly.
He is. I don't think I've ever won at Monopoly.
You know why I'm decent at Monopoly? I don't care.
Yeah. I don't either, but I'm broke.
No. I don't care I'll blow the money. As soon as I get enough money, I'll blow it down to where I don't have hardly any money left.
I try not to spend any.
And that's my theory, is just blow it. And if I go out early, well, I went out early, who cares?
If you went out early, you're happy because you don't like Monopoly.
I would walk away.
That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to end the game early.
And instead my theory always
because he doesn't like
longer.
it. He's like, this is a 4-hour game.
I do like some good shooting games on the computer, though. I don't know that I'm great at it, but I enjoy them.
So name them.
Like, I don't know. No, I don't know.
What's that new one, Helldiver?
Oh, I'm really not any good at that.
Yeah, but you enjoy it.
I enjoy it, but it said, what am I good at?
It said, what are you great at?
I'm not great at it by any means. But like Diablo 4, I like it. I'm not great at it, but I enjoy it. There's tons of games I enjoy, but I'm not great at it, that's for sure.
What is the best thing about getting older?
Looking forward to not having to work anymore.
The best thing about getting older?
Well, we're more set in money.
You don't have the responsibilities.
As far as children and stuff
Yes,
goes,
you don't have the
that's true.
responsibilities, and usually
I'm thinking about you're more stable with money too.
That's what
for
I
the
was
most
gonna
part.
say.
Not always. Not
usually,
every case.
no, not every case, but hopefully you get to the point where you don't have to worry as much
As about money.
and so that's nice. I think just the lack of responsibility.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
I think money has a lot to do with it, and you don't have these set schedules necessarily that you have to go do this certain thing at a certain time. You know.
And if you do have a lot of responsibility, some people are our age and they do have a lot of responsibilities, and you have to look at that case by case and think, why do you have that many responsibilities? Is that something
Is that something you're choosing
you
to do?
choose yourself? And a lot of times it's a choice. People
Yeah.
have made certain choices to where they are stuck with responsibilities because that's what they chose, you know? So for us, I would say responsibilities are less.
Yeah.
And what do you miss most about being younger?
Oh, just being able to go run and do whatever I want to, and not getting all sore and tired and being out of shape.
Energy.
That's a lot of that's just being out of shape, though.
Energy. But you know what? I think I'm a very active person.
You are. Yeah, you're much more active than I am.
I think I'm very active. So what do I miss about being younger? I think just carefree, not having the responsibilities.
So same thing with being young.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, I don't think you have the responsibilities when you're younger.
When you're really young.
When you're really young, you don't have to worry about anything. It's like you just don't have
You're
to
living
worry
at home. You don't have kids. You don't have,
Yeah,
you got a job, but it's just to buy extra stuff. You don't need
It's
it.
like, and it's like you really just don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah, that's true.
You should enjoy that as long as you can.
Yeah, live with mom and dad as long as you possibly
And
can.
that's the thing.
Go to college, everything, while you're living with mom and dad.
Most young people do not listen to that advice, and they always regret it.
They want to get out
We
and
told
run.
Andrew, stay at home. You don't have to worry about stuff. You don't have to do stuff. And then, they get out and they realize, oh, this sucks. I have to get up every day at 4:30 in the morning and have to go to work and have to pay for all these bills and stuff like that. We can only try to tell you that, take it easy.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is the worst thing a person can do to mess up their life?
Oh, Lord, there's so many things.
I have one thing I think is my number one.
What?
Drugs.
Oh, yeah, they can really mess you up.
Drugs. I think,
Or getting with the wrong crowd to where it leads to things like that.
well, if you're with a crowd who does drugs,
You're probably going to get
then you're
involved
probably
in it.
going to get sucked in, whether you believe that or not.
Same thing
I
if you're
think
with a group
drugs.
of people that like to cause trouble, raise hell,
Yes.
Then you may not be that person when you start out.
But you're going to
will
become,
get there.
you'll get there. They'll turn you. So, I
Mine's
think
not
drugs.
quite as dramatic. I agree with that 100% that will ruin your life.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm more low key. I think credit and credit card debt and things like that will
Yes.
completely mess your life up.
Yes, it will.
Because once you start going down that credit hole, it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper.
And I can say that I think it's great. We do not have any credit card debt.
We did, but
We
we
did.
worked very hard to get it paid off years ago.
Yes, so we did do that because I've told this before. There was a time where we were robbing Peter to pay Paul
Yeah, like
every
literally
single
counting
week.
nickels.
Yes, like when we told you we were broke, we meant we were broke. Some people say I'm broke and they'll
And they
have
still got $200 in the bank.
right, or even $50 in the
Right.
bank. When we told you that, we really meant we didn't have $1 to get to the next week.
Right.
We were at the end. So there was a time where we both needed winter coats. And to get those winter coats, we had to go to JCPenney and get a JCPenney credit card.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only way we could get new coats, but we needed them.
Or shoes for the kids and stuff
Exactly. I remember when Ashley's school, one of her schools went to dress code.
like that. Oh.
And it just made me furious.
It's great for those parents that's got the money,
Yeah.
but we didn't have any money.
But we
to go
didn't
out and buy
have the
dress
money
code
to
clothes.
dress code clothing. So what do? You have to get a credit card. It wasn't like it is now where there's so many options for dress code and where like you couldn't even find dress code clothes at that time in Walmart.
You had to go to
like the Gap.
Yeah, Gap had a lot, and I think Kohl's got into where they sold
Yes.
it after a couple
You
of
had to
years.
go to nicer stores to get the dress
Which
code
is more
stuff.
expensive.
And this was a regular elementary school that did this. But so there's times that, yes, we were in it and we thankfully got out of it. But now I'm so grateful that the kids,
Yeah, neither one of our kids
they
have
don't have
ever really
credit.
done that.
No, they don't have credit card data. Okay.
It's like, it seems like it's, when you're young, it seems like it's just free money.
Yeah.
Oh, $2,000 or $1,000 on this card. There's $1,000. That's mine. And you don't realize that by the time you pay it back, you pay back $5,000.
That's a really good point he just said, because I can tell you when I was in college, that was like free money too. When you get these student loans,
Loans are bad too.
you think these student loans are just free money and you can just go spend it and whatever and not have to pay it back. I think it took us, like 17 years?
Something like that.
It took us like 17 years to pay back our student loans.
Yeah, of course we were paying the minimum because we didn't have any money.
We didn't have the money to pay anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah, we were paying the base. It was like $131 a month. For like 17 years, we paid that. Because in order to get our first house, when Kevin and I first got married, Kevin had his student loan debt and I had my student loan debt. But then when you get a house, they want you to consolidate that into one bill.
At least they did when we got
They did with us. So we consolidated like 3 different loans because Kevin went to several schools. 3 different loans into one bill. And yeah, it took us like 17 years to pay that off. But a lot of people see those student loans as like free money. And it's like, no, there will come a day where, yeah, you're going to have to pay that back. It's not just free.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grants, though. Grants are great.
Grants are great. Yeah, if you can get a grant, that's great. Let's see. What is your favorite breed of dog?
I still love a pug. I mean,
too.
they're so gentle and so
yeah.
friendly and so goofy.
They're a good family dog.
Yeah.
But they're a good dog for an old person because they're lazy.
They're lazy. They don't want to.
Yeah.
They don't want to go outside and walk any more than you do.
They can't lick their butt.
That's a plus for Tammy. She likes that.
You know why? Because I could take him and
That's right. You just kiss him in the mouth.
I could kiss him in the mouth.
He can't lick any private parts down there.
No, they can't reach them. So you don't have to worry. Other dogs, they can lick their butt. He couldn't do that.
No, he couldn't do that. No, pugs are probably my favorite. If I had to pick a second one, it would be probably one of the little Boston Terriers, which are basically pugs but skinnier with big ears.
I was going to say a Pekingese, which is basically a pug, but it has all that
It's
long
a lot
hair.
of hair,
It looks like a little house shoe running in the
Yeah,
mouth.
they're cute, but boy, they got a lot
But
of
they
hair. I
have
bet they
that
shed like
face.
crazy.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't want a dog. Guido shedded like mad.
Oh, yes.
We had pug hair every year. Even after he passed away, we had pug hair around here for years.
Yes. Yeah, oh, yeah. There's places right now where I could probably still get pug hair.
Probably.
But their hair is very coarse.
Yeah.
And so
wiry.
it's wiry. Yeah. So it can kind of like, if you put him against you, it can kind of like weave its way
literally,
inside.
I don't know how it does that. It like literally will go, and it's like never coming off.
Yeah.
Unless you literally grab it and pull it.
Oh yeah, that's the
crazy.
truth.
But no, I think a pug. You can't beat a pug.
What is the best movie you have seen recently?
Not the last one we watched.
I know
that's for sure.
the last one.
We will. Dog doo-doo.
Yeah, we will. We'll talk
talk about that.
Yeah,
again.
we'll talk about that when we do our wrap up because it was the suckiest movie.
Oh, I've got some really good
It
TV
was an
shows.
hour and a half. Only an hour and a half, but it was an hour and a half we'll never get back.
Yeah, I'll never get that hour and a half back. I've had some really good TV shows I can think of right off the top of my head, but movies, I can't think of anything right off the top of my head. Well, that military one was good. Seemed like we watched a science fiction
I like the
one.
military one.
There was did we watch a science fiction?
Probably, I don't know.
See, I'm running my TV shows and my movies together because we watch so many TV shows that are like 8 episodes, so it seems like a movie. What
You're
would you
thinking
say?
of that 3-body
the 3-body problem,
Yeah.
which ended sucky. But anyway, just a cliffhanger.
I'm thinking of Poor Things.
Yeah, that was really, really good.
I loved Poor Things.
I mean, I wouldn't want to watch it over and over again.
Now, it's not for everybody because...
No, definitely not for everybody.
Yeah, it's not. But
we talked about that.
We talked about it. We discussed it. But I absolutely loved it. I would watch it again. I thought it was wonderful.
There's a military one that was probably the last one.
I love the military one.
I can't remember what it was.
It had the Hemsworth brother.
Yeah. Yeah, and not Chris, but the young
Liam.
Yeah.
And it was really good. Russell Crowe.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
Russell Crowe wasn't. What's Russell
Was
Crowe?
he not the one that was at the main base? He didn't do anything.
Oh, yes, it was him. He just got older. That's
yeah,
right.
he'd gotten older. Yeah.
Yeah,
that movie.
Yeah, whatever that was.
Whatever that one was called. Yeah, that was. I liked it too. I thought that was.
That was
really
probably
good.
the best one I've seen lately. Although I could have sworn we watched a science fiction one that I really enjoyed.
We
but
probably did,
just
but
can't.
I can't remember
I just
everything.
can't remember.
That's why we write everything down. Is because we can't.
We're getting
remember.
old.
Yeah, we can't remember everything. Bad thing about getting old, you're losing your memory.
Well, we watch a lot of TV shows.
We do,
and we'll
lot.
we'll watch an episode a night, and so it literally seems like you're watching a movie, and those they literally all run together.
Yeah. What movie can you not believe everyone loved? A movie everyone loved that you just are shocked.
Oh, there's a bunch of those.
Like what?
I can't think of a name of any of them right now, but I'm sure there's. What was that one we absolutely hated? It was I can picture the box is a flower pot with like a head in it laying on its side, and it was like multiple people's stories. It's an old movie too.
Oh.
It was basically snapshots of different people's lives and how they all interacted with each other, and it was just so weird and confusing. It was like I didn't understand it. There was one we watched recently that was weird and confusing, and it's like, wow, in the world are people watching this?
I'm gonna say the Barbie movie. People
it
went
was good
on
for
and on and on about the Barbie movie. And it's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it
was good.
It was
a one-time watch for me. I think Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
I really enjoyed it, but I think it was the best movie ever.
No, it was a one-time. Yeah, that was a one-time movie.
Yeah.
But the Barbie movie, people are still going on. When somebody will say the Barbie movie, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, and it's like I absolutely just don't get that.
Do you have the app for Interview Database?
No, I go to the website every time. I don't like all those apps, and I know you are the app person. For me it's clutter, and I don't like a lot of clutter. So yeah, I don't have that. So how would you ever find what you're talking about?
I think I know one of the characters. So go ahead, you talk.
In the Barbie movie, I have watched that with the grandkids because there's a lot of pink and there's a lot of color and there's a dance sequence and all that, and it's fun to watch. And I love the music and stuff like that. I love seeing the old Barbies. There were definitely things about it that I loved. I love seeing the big dream house. And even if you look like in the distance, several times you can see the dream house that I had when I was little. They had some really good visuals then. So. And so stuff like that was good. But people are all about the patriarchy. I just don't agree with it. I don't think that's accurate. And so it wasn't like as groundbreaking as I think other people. It's just a difference of opinion.
It was adaptation. That was the movie we were thinking about.
Adaptation with Nicolas Cage. Yeah. I don't remember it at all.
And I don't remember it either because I thought it was a big deal at one time, but then I hated it.
Name an actor who you think was miscast in a particular role. Like you think somebody better would have been... I think Interview with the Vampire, Tom Cruise. I don't think Tom Cruise made a good Lestat.
Not after reading the books. I agree with you.
No. If you
read the books, he's like this perfect man, you know. If
you read the book, I do not think Tom Cruise fits the bill for Lestat. He just didn't. Really and I absolutely love those books, and it was disappointing when I found out he was going to be Lestat. I just don't think he did a good job. And I think for most times, I think that they do a decent job. That I just don't think that was a very good representation of those books. I just don't. I think the book was so much better, and I really think that's a series of books you just need to read, because
the books are much better than the movies.
Yes, yeah. If you've seen, like The Green Mile. The Green Mile, they did an awesome job.
They almost did that word for word.
Yes. That movie is exactly like the books.
Yeah.
You do not have to read the Stephen King books, The Green Mile. You don't have to if you see the movie, because it's so close.
And they cast everything perfect in that.
They did. Oh, it was wonderful.
I'm trying to think. See, Tammy's had a chance to know these questions.
I looked at the questions.
So she can think of her answer. I have
Kevin
no clue.
didn't, yeah. So yeah. Some of these, I don't dwell on every one of them.
Well, I'm trying to think, okay, like some of the superhero movies I've watched, like the Avengers or X-Men or one of those. Is there people that they didn't fit the characters, but I can't think of anybody really.
Right. No, I think they're good at those.
Yeah, I know. They've all fit really nicely. I can't think of anybody right off the top of my head. I'm sure if I really looked through some, I would think, oh yeah, they were really weird. Why they put that person in there. There's some military action movies that were like that, I know, but I can't think of them right off the top of my head. But there's been some fighting kind of movies where it's like, why'd they put this guy in this movie? It should have been like somebody bulkier or more manly or whatever.
My problem is with a lot of these movies, there's some actresses who are getting older, and they keep putting them, and that reminds me of who's that? The one where he's taken, Liam Neeson.
No, Liam Neeson.
Okay, so I hadn't even thought about this, but this is just the truth. Liam Neeson is old enough to be the grandpa, and they're giving him this little kid as his child,
which could happen.
It could happen,
but it's not very likely.
Really not. It's just not the norm. Also, they keep putting Nicole Kidman with these really young guys or in these really young parts, and it's like, you can only do so much to your face, and we all know you're still getting older. There's, we can still see things on your body that's very telling of your age. And I love her. I think she's great. But she needs to start playing roles for her age. Yeah. So a lot of recent things that I've seen, and just like that last thing with Liam Neeson, I thought, yes, he's a great actor. But he was miscast in that movie because this was clearly intended for a younger person.
They could have rewritten it and make it be the grandfather.
They could. He could have been
easily
the grandpa. Yeah, of course, it's this action movie, but that one really wasn't a lot of action. But I think they're miscasting a lot when they put these older, because they want the big name. They want the Nicole Kidman name because that sells. But then she doesn't fit with this young person you're putting her with, or with this young family, or it just doesn't fit. That, I would say, that is a misstep too.
Yeah. I still can't think of anything right off the top of my head. So.
Okay. Let's see. What reality TV show would you love to be on?
Oh, actually participate in?
Yes.
I couldn't do Survivor.
If you could apply,
I couldn't do Survivor.
And be on one.
I couldn't do Survivor because I'm way too lazy. I wouldn't want to do Amazing Race. Although, if they were doing Amazing Race like they do now, like this season that just went off, they pretty much take care of all the travel for them as far as getting from place to place. So you only have to worry about local travel and navigation. I wouldn't mind doing it then, but I wouldn't want to do it when they were traveling all over the world. The Traitors would be good.
The Traitors.
I would be in the Traitors, but not the U.S. version because it sucks. I would want to be in the U.K. version.
I wouldn't want to be in the Traitors because they do some things on the Traitors that I would not want to do. Like when they put them in the coffins under the ground.
I wouldn't care about that.
I would not. I'm claustrophobic. I wouldn't like that. I would do Big Brother UK, and I've said that before.
Yeah, Big Brother UK would be better.
I would 100%.
Because it's a lot. It's not a lot of competitions and crap like
I would
that.
absolutely
They're just mostly having fun.
Love it. I would love that. It would be like going to camp or something. Yeah. That would be much fun.
I could do the Traitors though. As long as I wasn't a traitor, I don't think I could pull that off. I don't think they would pick me to be a traitor. But
I think you're too quiet.
I'm too quiet and I'm too obvious when
Yeah.
No, I didn't kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
I would be too obvious. No, I can see Big Brothers, but Traitors, I would enjoy being on Traitors, just trying to figure out who who they are and thinking through things, and then you get on TV and you sound like a complete idiot because you're thinking one way, and it's like, they're crazy. Why would they see that? And it's like, that's because you're seeing the whole story. They're not seeing the whole story.
It would be fun to spend a month or however long in that Scottish
That would be nice.
castle.
That would be cool.
Isn't that where they were in Scotland? What website do you frequently visit for enjoyment?
Oh, YouTube or Twitch.
YouTube,
One of those two. Yeah.
YouTube would be mine. YouTube is my enjoyment.
Because I probably spend more time on YouTube, but I really enjoy Twitch because it's a live thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So YouTube.
Either one of those. I would say YouTube, but then Twitch would be really close. Okay,
and the last question for this week is very simple. What is your favorite Girl Scout cookie?
The little coconut, they used to be Samoas, whatever they're called nowadays.
That's my favorite too. I've changed because mine used to be those peanut butter sandwiches.
Yeah.
And I bought a box of those.
They're not as good.
And they're so hard.
Yeah, they're not
just
as good.
hard.
They're not as good as they used to be.
And they're just, I don't like them as much now that I'm older. And so I think they're called I don't know if they're called Coconut Delights or what.
Something like that. They used to be the Samoa ones. I guess there was something with that name.
And caramel.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are my favorite too.
Those are the best ones.
Yeah,
and you can buy those.
Soft.
If it's outside if it's outside of Girl Scout season, go to Walmart. They've got a really good
Great
version.
Value has their version. Family Dollar.
I actually like the Walmart better.
Yeah, Family Dollar has their version.
I don't think those are as good, but the Walmart ones are really good from my memory.
We tried the Family Dollar ones.
I don't remember if they were as good.
Yeah, they were pretty good. So that's it for this week. Again, like the previous weeks, if you want to answer any of these, I always love reading your responses. And a lot of times you all come up with things, movies.
I would like to hear what other people thought about the miscasting.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure if you say one, I'll probably go, yeah, that is a good one. Because I literally, you know how your mind goes. It just blocks, you know.
But like Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
Perfect.
I don't want to see anybody else as Iron Man.
Yeah, no, he played it perfect.
Yeah, he was wonderful.
Captain America, the guy who played Captain America.
Yeah.
He was perfect in there. Thor, I mean, all those guys were just perfect.
They were awesome. Yeah. So, I can't.
Spider-Man's been a little hit and miss here and there, but they've always been kind of weird and geeky.
I like, what is it, Tom Holland?
Yeah.
And Tobey Maguire. I've liked all of them. I've liked all of them. I thought they were.
I think when you first think about it, like they're putting that person in that role, and then when they get in the role, it's like, they fit.
It's like, oh yeah, he's really good. So, so you'll have to give us some of your answers to these because it's always interesting. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next week.